Hello, thanks for joining me today. This Vblog video is a little later than what I hoped it would be, but I suppose in fairness, with so much happening at E3, it's given me a bit more time to reflect on what I want to talk about, and a few other gaming matters that happened during or somewhat after the event. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about everything, because that would be practically impossible, and it would be an immensely long video, and this is likely to overrun longer than what I hoped it would do anyway, so I'll try not to ramble too much, but I'll talk about things which matter to me and hopefully matter to you. And I do not think there's a better place to start than the announcement of Shenmue 3, which happened at the Sony conference. I know, well, when it got announced via Kickstarter, which is something we don't see. Then it was later revealed that Sony are backing it, which raises the questions: why do they need to do a Kickstarter? In their argument, I guess they'd say, well, it's a perfect way to test the water, to see how much in demand this game will be. Will it be worth investing? And I think it reached its $2 million goal within 9 hours. And I think as I'm speaking now, it's approaching $4 million. And it's got like 25 days to go until the Kickstarter campaign ends. So I think it's going to absolutely annihilate its target. But the way I look at it, it's my first Kickstarter campaign that I've been involved with, that I've donated. I made a $29 donation, and the way I see that, it's a game we've all been waiting 14 years for. That's insane when you think about it. But it's a game I want to finish a story. It's been bugging. I mean, people going about Half-Life 3 being overdue. Shenmue 3, it's just like, wow, that is the most. You struggle to find a more overdue story to finish, and I just want to finish a story. And in English pain, it works out to be about 18 quid. And for me, it's a game I would have bought, so I've essentially put down my payment for a game that I've been waiting 14 years for. And I'm sure they won't disappoint. With Sony's backing as well, it should guarantee its existence. It's coming to PC and PS4. Unfortunately, there's no word of an Xbox One release, and with Sony's involvement, it's unlikely that it will happen, which is a shame, because as many gamers like me have been waiting for so many years to play it, regardless of what console they own. And I think it's unfortunate, but what can you do? The gaming gods have spoken. And I did show some early screenshots. Lip sync looked dodgy a bit, but visually it looked nice. It's going to have a new skill tree system. What else are we going to have? It's going to have a new combat system as well, so hopefully it'll be more fluid. And obviously, I'm not bothered about lip sync, because it's only just been announced. And the Kickstarter says it will be, well, they've given a deadline, a release date of December 2017, which is a long time, but I'm assuming, hopefully, with a bit of luck, fingers crossed, that is a worst case scenario. But it's happening, and that's great. Well, I might as since I started off with a Sony conference, I might as continuing that conversation. And another game which when I saw it, I think it was at Gamescom last year, Uncharted 4. Can't wait. I think it looked great, but I was a bit underwhelmed of what I saw. It didn't look quite as well as I'd hoped. The frame rate wasn't great, but again, early stages, the game's going to get better. They showed a good 7 minute gameplay video of Uncharted 4. We had Sully and Nathan, and not only did it show some nice crate density in it, it had some great driving, which wouldn't look out of place perhaps in a more casual driving game. But during the car chase, what you saw in the gameplay video, it showed us how open these maps are going to be. I mean, at Gamescom, Naughty Dog spoken about how the maps are much more bigger, less linear than previous Uncharted games, and that definitely looked like it was, well, living up to its promise. And I think that looked fantastic, and it improved on what gameplay footage I believe we saw previously. So we can't wait for that. That's 8 March 2016. Obviously, prior to that this year, we've got the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, which oddly enough does not contain any of the multiplayer, even from Uncharted 3. And I think that's a damn shame, because it's a good multiplayer mode. And it's $50. Well, $50. 50 quid. It's probably $60 over in the shores. I think that's a bit pricey. Maybe 40 quid is a bit more reasonable in my eyes. But we've all got our own estimates of valuation. It all comes down to a game at hand. A new IP that got announced, Horizon Zero Dawn, and it is developed by Gridder Games, that folks that brought us Killzone, taking it. We're used to their first-person, no-brainer, fun shooters, not great, but fun shooters, and Killzone Shadowfall looks stunning. So they've managed to take all their visual expertise, and this Horizon Zero Dawn, it's a third-person action-adventure with RPG and stealth elements with robot dinosaurs, which, even though the lead protagonist's name, where are we? Probably not pronouncing this right, but Aloy, I'll say Aloy. I mean, she looks like a cave woman, but they've managed to use the dinosaurs, robot dinosaurs, caveman-like characters, but managed to keep it very futuristic, and that looks stunning. Out of all the new IPs that got announced this year, that for me was one of the standouts, and I can't wait to see more of that because it looks fantastic. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Every single year for God knows how many years, and I think since Call of Duty Modern Warfare, well, original Modern Warfare game, Call of Duty 4, Microsoft have had the exclusive rights, timed exclusivity to the multiplayer maps and DLC. And since, for many years, it's been coming out on Xbox first, and PC, PlayStation formats made about a month later. To my surprise, and I think a lot of other people's surprise, Black Ops 3 turned up at the Sony conference, and they announced that now they have timed exclusive rights. I prefer to play the game on the PlayStation, but I think it's all bullshit anyway. I think maybe if people own a PS4, well, a PlayStation, Xbox console, they might think, I'll buy Call of Duty on, let's say this year, PlayStation, so I don't have to wait as long as if I bought it on Xbox. But I don't think it's going to necessarily sway anyone to buy a particular console. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, but what can you do? Sign of the times. And what else do we have at Microsoft? There were plenty of things. Microsoft, Sony, Last Guardian. I'm not a massive Ico or Shadow Crosses fan, but that was a huge announcement that got announced. Not as long as Shenmue 3, but a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting that, especially it's been in development how, same as Shenmue 3, so we saw it quite a few years ago first announced. They showed which looked to be the same gameplay footage scenes, but obviously with improved visuals. I was a bit underwhelmed. I did expect it to look shinier, but it's all about the gameplay, it's all about the overall presentation of the story it's going to tell, and Team Ico, or what they're called now, they're brilliant at telling the story with minimal dialogue. So that's going to be a fantastic story, and I think it's pretty much obvious. I don't care what anyone says, the chicken dog is going to die. God rest its premature soul. So, what else? What more? Let's go straight to Microsoft. Microsoft, I think they just edged it in the console conferences, mainly because one of their massive announcements was the Xbox One. It's going to be Xbox 360 compatible. Not with all games. At the moment, it's around about 100 games that are backward compatible. Obviously, they are going to want to increase that number over time. There's a mixture of Xbox arcade games. You are also going to be able to use your retail games. So put a disc in, it will play it. I think it's a shame they didn't announce that to begin with, but maybe they, for whatever reason, they couldn't do it. But they've done it now. It's a step in the right direction. And I think anyone who's holding on, I mean, people say, yeah, move on with the titles. But some people will have an Xbox 360, have an Xbox One, and they're only keeping that 360 console because of those older games that they've got. And they probably want to sell it. It's making you a bit more money, buy a couple of new games. Now this, by doing that, it allows them to fuck off their 360, play on the Xbox One, and make some money back in the process. I wouldn't hold my breath on Sony doing the same, but I hope they will. I don't think they will, but especially with that bollock streaming service they do, where they charge you bloody £6 to rent a game for a few days, which is absolutely ludicrous. But Microsoft have definitely, they won big plus points there with that one. And as well as announcing a new Elite control pad with triggers on the back, a snazzy D-pad. It looks brilliant, but you're talking 130 quid, $150, very pricey. And it's called an Elite controller for a reason. Microsoft showed some Halo 5 gameplay. They showed a campaign played in 4-player co-op, and it showcased Spartan Locke and his fire team, the Saurus, during the mission Battle of Sunion on their pursuit of Master Chief and the Blue Team on the planet Sanghelios. I didn't know what to expect from seeing some gameplay from a campaign, but I was a little bit underwhelmed. I think maybe it's because I love Halo, don't get me wrong, I buy it every year. I think it's got to a stage now where, as a gaming community, we're getting a bit more difficult to impress, but I'm sure the campaign will be a lot of fun, especially playing with 3 of your friends. But it's all about the multiplayer, in my eyes, in my opinion now. If you played the beta over Christmas, then even at that early stage, the beta was fantastic. So I think that's going to be brilliant. That's say October 27th. Can't wait for that one. Excuse me, have a sip of my drink. What else? Gears of War. I showed some first Gears of War 4 gameplay footage, which it's the end of the Marcus tale, the old brothers in arms. I've had a complete brain freeze. I love Gears of War. Marcus and Dom tale. It's a new chapter for some new Gears now. We don't know too much about them. The gameplay footage I showed captured a lot of the horror and suspense that we've seen in some early Gears of War games. I think that looked fantastic. How it plays, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll get to play the beta of it soon, because if you purchase the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is a HD remaster of the first game, you get access to multiplayer beta. I can't wait for that one. I can't wait to play the beta, and I've been playing some of the Ultimate Edition Gears of War 1 beta. That's good. Don't go expecting anything revolutionary, because it's essentially the same game. It looks a lot prettier. But when I played some of that beta multiplayer, I realised how much I missed Gears of War. We saw some Rise of the Tomb Raider gameplay. That looked brilliant. That looked fantastic. And we've got a release date. And that will be releasing on November 10th for Xbox One and Xbox 360. Cannot wait for that one. What other loose games do we have? Mass Effect, which this is an interesting one. No longer is it carrying a Mass Effect number. It's a new tale, so it's not Mass Effect 4. It's Mass Effect Andromeda. Chlamydia. I don't know. Mass Effect Chlamydia, that's what I'm calling it. That was a CGI cutscene, so we saw no gameplay, but it gave us a really good insight to how huge a world we are going to have to explore. It's going to have, obviously, male and female create character to create your own, I would say Shepherd, but it's not Shepherd, and we don't know the name of the character yet. And Bethesda say, in terms of the plot details, it's very much a new adventure, taking place far away from and long after the events of the original trilogy. I've also said that the best parts of a Mass Effect game, exciting new worlds to discover, great characters, and will feature intense action. What else? All new gameplay, an all new galaxy, Andromeda, Chlamydia. You can obviously pilot new and improved Mako. It's going to be off a Frostbite 3 engine, and BioWare promised more details are going to be released in the coming months, and that's going to release towards the end of next year, so that's going to be a huge game. A lot of people looking forward to that one. In terms of gaming events, for me, you had the Square Enix, loads going on, PC Gamer conference, but Bethesda technically kicked off the event. I think a lot of people, that made a lot of people's E3 alone. We saw obviously Fallout 4, saw some new gameplay footage, and we saw some of how extensive the custom options are, from creating your own character. You create your baby, it creates your parents, and it kicks off a game where You as a baby, you're sitting down with your parents, kaboom, and the world blows up. You see all hell breaks loose. So that's great how it's done that. You're going to play some of the events before the catastrophic event. I think that's going to be fantastic. We're also going to be able to, you're going to be able to create buildings and settlements. That is going to be interesting. So basically, essentially, mate, your own Megaton or Megaton. It's a, well, as you can tell, I'm struggling to find my words how excited I am for this. Dog meat isn't going to die, so there's going to be no doggy death, which is good. We don't want to see dog meat die, unless you're sadistic and you really want to, but hey, that's your prerogative. It's going to have, obviously, the VAT systems has returned. With your settlements, you're going to be able to build turrets to defend it from raiders and mutants. In terms of weapon customization, there's going to be 50 base weapons with more than 700 mods. It's set 200 years. Yep. The bomb destroys the Earth. You emerge from Vault 111 around 200 years later. So I'm assuming there's some cryo chamber effect there. It is running off a Skyrim engine, which has caused some concern with some people. But if you look at the gameplay and the screenshots, it looks brilliant. It's not going to be a Skyrim with new visuals. They're going to enhance it. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game. I'll be shocked if people are let down by that. And it's an awesome Pip-Boy edition, which a fully functional Pip-Boy. You put your phone in with an app, and you got a Pip-Boy in real life. That is absolutely brilliant. And along with that, at the Microsoft conference as well, Bethesda's, what's his name? Todd Howard, I believe his name is. Yeah, Todd Howard came onto stage and said, which is awesome news, the PC version, well, of course, the PC version is going to have mods because Master Race PC mods, brilliant. But yeah, the console versions of Fallout 4 are going to have PC mods. I don't know exactly how they're going to work. They're going to be available at PC to start off with, Xbox at the beginning of the year, PS4 shortly afterwards. We don't know exact details on that. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of, you download it from the Bethesda website or some kind of hub or something like that, and basically whatever mods are created for the PC via Steam, the console is going to have too, which I hope now a lot of companies follow suit to that one, because that is a brilliant move. And it's one of the perks of being a PC master race, which I'm not, unfortunately. My PC is shit. But I think that's a great move. I can't wait to see how that will work. Whether or not they will charge us or whether they will be free remains to be seen. But that is a huge step in the right direction, in my opinion. We had no gameplay for Dishonored, but we saw a CGI cutscene once again. Looked fantastic. Where we go? We're gonna have two protagonists, which took me by surprise. You can play as either Corvo or Princess Daughter Emily Coldwell. It's gonna release towards the end of next year on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. On August 25th in North America and August 28th in Europe, we're going to have a Dishonored Definitive Edition with improved visuals, whatnot, and all pieces of DLC. So Dishonored is going to be a huge game, obviously. And we had some proper gameplay footage of Doom, which also is going to release around about spring of next year, like Dishonored 2 spring, hopefully. The gameplay in that one, obviously, it was a trailer, so it's constructed in a way to look a certain way. It looked very fast to me, a bit less. I would have liked to see it a bit more slow paced, but it looked great. It looks like Doom. I think that would be the Doom game. I trust Bethesda. I trust that they will give us the games that we want, whether it's Fallout, Doom, Dishonored. I can't wait to play Doom. It's going to have its multiplayer as well, which, say that plays whether or not it's going to go some of the Unreal route. If it's the gameplay trailer was fast paced, so hopefully the multiplayer will be the same. I've got no problem with the multiplayer being fast paced. I want the campaign to be a bit slower. Of course, you won't be able to. Well, you will be able to play that, get a sample of it if you purchased Wolfenstein for New Order, which grants you beta access to the Doom multiplayer. So we don't have any release dates on that yet, but can't wait to play that one. I think that pretty much wraps up my E3 impressions. This week, I do want to mention the controversial move by Warner Brothers to cancel the Batman Arkham Knight Batmobile edition. I'm not too sure how much it is in the States, but in the UK, it's a good 170 quid, very pricey. Designed by Triforce. It's a Batmobile statue which moves and does stuff, and probably got flashing lights. It looked good from the images they shown. Where earlier this week I received an email, like everyone else, where it stated that Warner Brothers decided to cancel it because basically it's not met their high standards of quality. Surely though, they must have had someone keeping an eye on the development of that Batmobile, and they could have. I think it's bollocks that they've waited so long. It's left a lot of people pissed off. Depending on where you've ordered it, they're going to give you a £20 voucher to spend on something else. For me, where I pre-ordered it from, offered me a £20 discount on the Red Hood edition, which I've got no intentions of using because I've already pre-ordered the statue edition from Amazon. And I only ordered the Batmobile edition for the Batmobile. So I ain't going to get the £20 benefit of that one, but I think it's good. They're knocking 20 quid off for that. So essentially it makes a 50 quid game 30 quid. But Warner, seriously, well, I don't think it's Rocksteady, but I think it's bullshit they left it so late. We're days away from release. And a lot of people are right to be pissed off about that. And speaking of Warner Batman Arkham Knight, on the official Warner Bros. Arkham Knight forum page, they said that all DLC, all pre-order DLC, is going to be included in the season pass. So much for this pre-order DLC being exclusive or only at game, as they say. They say that all DLC is going to be released within the season pass 6 months after the release of the game. And to me, it just says, I pre-order games for a collector's edition. I like collecting stuff like that. I don't pre-order standard edition games. I don't see the point. People like to because maybe they finish work late and they don't want to go chasing around the shop to find a game. They know it's in store, go and pick it up. Great. I think that's a great benefit. But all this pre-order incentive DLC, it's the Harley Quinn and Red Hood missions. It's not exclusive. It's bullshit. And obviously that's DLC has been taken from the game to lure you into pre-ordering from a specific retailer. And as we know, now know it's not exclusive. I suppose in a sense it's better that content is included in the season pass, because if you buy the season pass at £33, expensive, it's better than having to fork out a few extra quid for those missions if you want it. So it's got its pros and cons. For me though, I will probably get the season pass, but I'm not going to buy it on release. I'm going to wait until things 50% off. They ain't getting 33 quid out of me on top of what I'm already paying. I think that pretty much wraps up my impressions for this week. Sorry it's a bit later. Is there anything I just discussed from E3 that you agree with or disagree with? Are you pissed off about the Batmobile edition and this pre-order DLC? Is there something entirely that I've missed altogether? Well, let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a good old gaming chat. Thank you for watching my latest video. Sorry it's gone a lot longer than I planned, but I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on my next video. Ciao for now.